Hello, my name is Claire Jennings, and I am a travel trainer here at the Central Ohio Transit Authority, or COTA. I'm here to talk to you today about how to ride COTA, specifically for Columbus City school students. The first thing we're going to talk about is how to choose the correct bus. We want to make sure that you get on the right bus at the right time, going to the right direction to make sure that you end up at school on time. Okay, so how do you choose? Well, there are a number of different ways you can choose. You can start on the COTA website with our trip planner. You can use the transit app, which is good not only in Columbus, but all over the US. You can also use Google Maps. Just make sure you choose the bus option and the transit option when you're figuring out your route. You can always call us at the customer service line at 614-228-1776. What do you need to know? Well, first things first, as a Columbus City school student, your fare is going to be free. And we're going to talk about that and how to access that free fare later on in this presentation. You also need to be prepared for the weather. Now, we live in Columbus, Ohio, which means the weather changes on a dime. So make sure that you are prepared for any rainstorms that may occur, and who knows, even a snowstorm. If you ever have any questions at all about our COTA services, which bus to take, anything like that, you can always call our COTA customer service line at 614-228-1776. All right, how to use our COTA trip planner. If you go to COTA.com, you'll see a link to our COTA trip planner. When you use the trip planner, you're going to enter in where you're starting from and then where you're going to. And then once you click Take Me There, it's going to pop up with all the instructions on the different bus lines that are available to you and any sort of walking you may have to do to and from your starting bus stop and your ending bus stop. This will also show you if there are any needs for any transfers between bus lines and also how long it will take you to get from your starting point to your ending point. And another option you can use is the transit app. It's available on your smartphone, which means you can find your next bus on the go, which is really helpful. It will locate you and show you all the different bus lines around you and also when the next buses are coming to those stops, which is really helpful. So if you're standing somewhere and you need to know when the next bus is coming, you can pull up the transit app and it will show you exactly where and when those buses will be arriving. Like the COTA trip planner, you can also search the routes by arrival or departure time. So again, you can make sure that you get to school on time. So the most important app that you should have on your phone as a Columbus City school student is the COTA Connector app. This is how you'll pay your fare. And so we want to make sure that you have it all set up so you can use the free fare through the CPass program. So you're going to download the COTA Connector app. And the way that you set up a new profile is that you use your school email. Now, if you have any problems with accessing your account through your school email, you need to contact the administrator at your school, and they will be able to make sure that your account is associated with your cell phone number. It's really important that that gets figured out so you have access to the CPass program and the free fare for Columbus City school students. The other thing that's great about it is that you can use it anytime you want. These passes are good through the end of August, and you can use them to get to school, but you can also use them to get to your job, to get to an internship, to go meet friends. So we want you to know that COTA is here for you to get around Columbus. Up next is how to ride the bus. We're going to walk you through it to make sure that you feel comfortable and confident when you get on your first COTA bus. All right, so waiting at the bus stop. So it's always good to arrive a few minutes early. You want to make sure that you haven't missed your bus for any reason or you haven't gotten waylaid by anything on the way to the bus stop. What's really cool about the COTA bus stops themselves is that there's a lot of information on that bus stop. So at the top of the flag on the bus stop is a number. That's the bus stop number. What's great about knowing what that bus stop number is that you can text that number to 95292. You're going to get a text back that includes all of the scheduled arrivals of a bus on the different lines associated with that bus stop. So it's not necessarily when they're going to arrive, but when they're scheduled to arrive. As you're waiting for the bus to arrive, make sure that you're standing on the sidewalk or standing in the shelter if there is one. We want to make sure that you're safe and that you're not too close to traffic or to any passing vehicles. As the bus arrives, make sure that you check the bus route number on the screen on the front of the bus. Sometimes there are multiple bus lines that service different bus stops. We want to make sure you're getting on the right bus. Boarding and paying your fare. This is an important step. And again, what I said earlier, as a Columbus City school student, your fare is free. But we're going to need you to use the COTA Connector app to access that free fare. As the bus is approaching, you're going to bring up the COTA Connector app on your phone, and you're going to tap on the My Passes screen. And on that screen, you're going to tap Pay As You Go. This will activate a QR code with a timer. The timer lasts for about 5 minutes, so you want to make sure you're only starting it as the bus is pulling up. That way, you will make sure that you aren't going to lose your time for that fare. Once you walk up to the fare box, you're going to lay your phone down flat onto it, and it's going to read that QR code. You want to make sure that your brightness is turned up all the way on your phone. If your screen is very heavily cracked, this also might impact whether or not your phone is going to be able to be read by the fare box. The bus operators know that Columbus City school students are going to be using the COTA Connector app to access the CPass for their fares. We want to make sure you can get to school on time, and so our bus drivers are committed to that. But if you have any issues with your app, or if you need to get a hard pass, please contact your school administrator dealing with the CPass. How to indicate your stop. So once you get on the bus and you're riding along, one of the scarier things is, well, when do I know when to get off the bus? And how do I let the bus operator know when I need to get off the bus? Well, we can tell you. So as you're riding the bus, the next bus stop will be announced via the PA system. It will also be on an LED screen that's found above the fare box area. When you planned your trip using either the COTA Trip Planner or the Transit app or even Google Maps, all of those will have told you what bus stop you need to get off on. Now, that's not going to give you a number like we were talking about before. It's actually going to give you a street name. And those street names are what's going to be announced as you're riding along on the bus. So when you hear your bus stop being announced or read it on the LED screen, you know that it's time to pull the yellow cord along the windows. When you do that, there'll be a notification up front that says a stop has been requested. That way the bus driver knows to pull off in the next bus stop and let someone off. How to get off the bus. So we ask that passengers exit through the rear door of the bus, and that's because we need new passengers to enter at the front. So if you exit through the rear door, it helps us make sure that our buses are running efficiently and on time. As you approach the rear exit, the door may or may not open automatically. If it doesn't open automatically, press on the area that says press here. Then the door will open. As you exit the bus, if you need to cross the street, we ask that you wait until the bus moves on. Now, the bus is really large, and you may or may not be able to see around the bus to see oncoming traffic. And if you can't see that oncoming traffic, they can't see you either, and we want you to be safe. Remember to wait for the bus to leave and then to cross the street. So basic rules and tips for riding COTA. Be early, be prepared, be kind, and be safe. Okay, how to behave on a COTA bus. We want you to be considerate of others, and we expect them to be considerate of you. So keep it clean, keep volumes turned down. If you're listening to music or a podcast or a television show, make sure you use headphones. And just so you know, all of our COTA buses have free Wi-Fi. So if you want to catch up on any of your shows, you can do so while you're riding the COTA bus to school. The other thing to know is give priority seats to anyone that needs them. So that means anyone in a wheelchair or mobility device or has a stroller. Make sure that those seats in the front are available for them to use first. We also have other COTA services available to you. We have COTA Mainstream, our reduced fare key card, and our reduced fare senior card. If you or any of your family members may be interested in these services, please call our COTA customer care line at 614-228-1776. Thanks again for joining me today. Again, my name is Claire Jennings, and I'm a travel trainer here at the Central Ohio Transit Authority. We hope to see you on one of our buses soon.